It started at exactly 11:47 p.m. I was sitting alone in my apartment. The television was playing quietly in the background while I scrolled through my phone. Nothing unusual, nothing strange, just another ordinary night. Then every channel suddenly went black. The screen flickered. Static filled the room. At first, I thought it was a signal problem. Then a loud tone blasted from the speakers, the emergency alert system. I rolled my eyes. Probably a weather warning, maybe a storm. The screen changed. A government warning appeared. White text on a black background. Emergency broadcast system. Please stand by. Barely paid attention until the announcer appeared. A middle-aged man wearing a dark suit, expressionless, motionless, staring directly into the camera. For several seconds, he said nothing. Then he spoke. "Good evening." His voice sounded strange, almost robotic, like it had been stitched together from different recordings. "This is an emergency broadcast." I reached for the remote, but something made me stop. The announcer continued. "If your name is Michael Turner." My heart skipped. That was my name. Exactly my name. I laughed, nervously. Coincidence. Had to be. There were probably thousands of Michael Turners. The announcer stared into the camera, then said, "My full address, every word, perfectly." Apartment number included. The remote slipped from my hand. My blood ran cold. The room suddenly felt smaller. The announcer continued. "If you are currently inside this residence," he paused, "do not answer the door." I stood up immediately. My heart pounding. This had to be a prank. Someone hacking the television, someone targeting me. That was the only explanation. Then 3 loud knocks echoed through my apartment. Boom, 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 I froze. Someone was outside. The knocking came again. Slow, deliberate, boom, boom, I walked toward the peephole. The television suddenly crackled. The announcer's voice became louder. "Do not look outside." I stopped, my hand hovering near the door. The knocking continued. Stop. Silence. The announcer stared into the camera. "If you have already looked." He paused. "We are sorry." The screen flickered, then returned to normal programming. Just like that, the broadcast ended. I stood motionless for several minutes, trying to process what had happened. Eventually, curiosity won. I checked the hallway. Nobody was there. Nothing. No footprints. No sounds. No signs that anyone had ever knocked. The next morning, I convinced myself it was a prank. Some kind of elaborate joke. Until I opened my front door. A note lay on the floor. 3 words. "He saw you." No name, no explanation. Nothing. That night, I couldn't sleep. At exactly 11:47 p.m., the television turned on by itself. The same emergency tone blasted through the apartment. The same announcer appeared. This time, he looked nervous, terrified, as if something stood behind the camera. "If you are watching this," he swallowed hard, "do not leave your apartment." My stomach dropped. The announcer glanced off screen, then back at me. It felt like he could actually see me. "If you hear your name being called," his voice shook, "do not respond." Then the screen flickered. The broadcast ended. Seconds later, I heard it. Voice outside my apartment, calling my name. Softly, almost whispering, "Michael." I froze. The voice came again. Closer? "Michael." It sounded familiar, like someone I knew. Someone I trusted. Then I recognized it. My mother had died 6 years earlier. The voice continued. "Michael." My hands trembled. Every instinct told me to open the door, to answer, to respond. But I remembered the warning. I stayed silent. The voice lasted nearly 20 minutes, then disappeared. The following night, The emergency broadcast returned. The announcer looked worse, his face pale, dark, circles beneath his eyes. He looked exhausted, like he hadn't slept in weeks. "There are currently 7 entities inside your building." I laughed nervously. The statement sounded ridiculous. Then he continued, "They appear human." The room felt ice cold. "They are not human." Every hair on my arm stood up. The announcer stared directly into the camera. "If one enters your apartment..." His voice broke. "Do not let it know you can see it." The screen filled with static dot. The broadcast ended dot. At exactly 2:30 a.m., saw movement in my hallway. A shadow. Standing completely still. Watching, I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The figure stood there for nearly an hour, then vanished. The next day, I called the police. I explained everything. The broadcasts, the voices dot. The figure, the officer listened politely, then asked if I had been sleeping well. I knew what he meant. He thought I was losing my mind. Maybe I was. That night, I decided to record the broadcast. Dot proof, something tangible. At 11:47 p.m., the screen changed. The announcer appeared. But this time, he wasn't alone. Someone stood behind him. Tall dot, thin, dot motionless. The same figure from my hallway. The announcer looked terrified. Then he spoke. "This will be the final broadcast." My chest tightened. The announcer stared into the camera directly at me. "Michael." His voice trembled. "It's already inside." The screen exploded into static. The television shut off. Every light in my apartment died. Darkness swallowed everything. Then I heard footsteps. Dot inside my apartment, dot slow, dot heavy. Moving toward me, reached for my flashlight, my hands shaking violently. The beam illuminated the hallway. Nothing, dot the footsteps continued. Closer, 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 done then. They stopped. Directly behind me. I spun around. Nobody. Nothing. The apartment was empty. Then my television turned on one final time. The screen showed a live camera feed. My living room dot recorded from somewhere near the ceiling. I watched myself standing in the center of the room, holding the flashlight dot terrified. Then something stepped into frame behind me dot tall dot thin. Dot smiling. The broadcast ended dot. The screen went black. The next morning, the police found my apartment empty. No signs of forced entry, no signs of struggle, nothing. The television remained on, displaying a single message. Emergency alert system. Subject located. Broadcast terminated.